Hello all and welcome to another video in my journey to 1 million Gamerscore, and with it being the end of June it's time to bring to you June part 2. So I didn't mention perhaps in the May, but definitely in the end of June part 1 that I was making the push for 400k and that I would either just make it or just not make it by the end of the month. Obviously I've not made it, you can see that on screen, but I'm not as close as I would have liked to have been. But I have added 14,235G in the second half of June, so I'm pleased with that. It's a decent chunk. And obviously June overall added 23,215, so I'm also very pleased with that. Now before we crack on the games, I just want to say thank you guys, because I've noticed my follow account on here has been popping up as well. I mean, please sub to us on YouTube too, I would really appreciate that. But it's nice that you feel like you want to follow me on here. I really am flattered by that. But if you have any questions, may I ask that you post them on YouTube rather than send me a message here, because if I'm on here I'm generally gaming and busy or watching TV while eating. So any questions on YouTube, I do answer to all comments on YouTube, so please pop a question there. And perhaps also guys, follow me on Mixer as well, because I've started doing my achievement sessions on there. A few of you have already dropped by and ask questions and interact with me there, and it's been great to do that as well, so I'm very pleased with that. And finally, as we go to the games, I'm just going to say to you whilst doing this, stay tuned to the end, because I have some plans to reveal what I intend to do next month. A few games lined up and a couple of ideas as well. So let's crack on with the games. I've waffled on long enough so far, and if you've seen these videos before, you'll know I like to do this in chronological order. And June part 2 started with clearing some backlog, and the first game up was the Turing test. Now guys on YouTube for this run around about the 2-hour mark. It did take me significantly longer because I used multiple guides. Some of them were difficult to follow along with, were very quick, so there was a lot of pausing involved. But some of them, there were other solutions which were a little bit easier and better to follow, so I was chopping and changing between guides. I think I ended up spending around about 6 to 7 hours on this one total. So if you can follow along a guide step for step without pausing, then you can actually get it done in 2 hours. But you'll need the help of a guide, because some of the puzzles and later on are really difficult if you want to get the gamer score a lot quicker, obviously. So yeah, be prepared. I'm going to actually add another hour and be safe and say rather 6 to 8 hours on this one is what it took me anyway. I always err on the side of caution. I don't want to tell people it's easier than it is. So be prepared to put in a lot of time even with a guide on this one. And this was part of Games with Gold once upon a time, so you may even have it sitting waiting around like I did. Anyway, next up is a game I bought ages ago because I knew it was an easy completion with a guide. And however, as of worth noting, shall we say, is that it's now been announced it's going to be part of July 2019's Games with Gold at time of recording. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're within that month and watching it, grab it free, because as I say, it is an easy completion. I went to the guy that I call my guide guy, Maka91. He has a guide on his channel which has a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes. However, 20 minutes before the end of that guide you will actually unlock all achievements because they are collectible based. He implores you to finish the game, so do I. I decided to finish the game. It has a lovely little ending. So yeah, I would play the game in its entirety, but you can actually get all the achievements done in an hour and a half if you're able to follow along a guide without pausing. So I like to pause and make sure, so it probably added an hour on for me, so we can put this in the 2 to 3 hour bracket, but with a guide. Next up is another one I bought on the cheap because I'd seen people do completions, and obviously with a guide this one is easy. I did start to play it without a guide, and then I realised a couple of levels in that I'm not enjoying this, so let's just get the guide out and get this one done. So Maka91 didn't have a guide for this, so when I searched for a guide on YouTube I come across a channel which I'd never come across before, and it's well followed and been around for a while, so it's not like it's a big secret either. And quite upset that I didn't know about these guys sooner. So great content guys if you're watching, and I'd like to say that your Push Pipe Paradise guide was excellent. It was bang on. The guide run time is around about an hour and 34 minutes. As I say, allow for pausing to help you follow along with it, so double it, so call it 3 to 4 hours with a guide. But if you're able to follow along with the guide without pausing, then you can get it done in an hour and 34 minutes. But kudos to whoever worked out how to do these puzzles first, because certainly some of the later ones are absolutely wow, they're difficult, you know. So well done to whoever figured those out first and put a guide out for us all to use and get this completion done a lot easier. Okay, next up is an ACO Neo Geo game. It smells like X. The reason why I played this is it was part of Game Pass, and I'm a Game Pass subscriber, and the ultimate for £1 deal that was last month was absolutely mental, so it was an absolute no-brainer. Thank you, E3. Anyway, 720 on this. This isn't an easy completion. Well, I don't have it. If it was an easy completion, I would have had it. But a lot of the achievements on this are rare. I mean, the best advice I can give you is to spend the time learning the first level. Obviously, the first level being the easiest. If you learn the first level and are able to get through it without dying, so that you keep your hostage bonus, because if you die any hostage you've rescued, you then lose and have to start again for a bonus. So if you can complete the first level without dying, you can actually finish it with 12. If you can finish it in your vehicle as well, that's a bonus too. So basically, yeah, learn that first level, and if you can complete it without dying and all those hostages, I think it just pushes you over 500,000. So that was how I was able to get, or certainly help with a lot of these achievements. Like, as you'll see, the high score mode, the bottom bracket is 500,000. So, and that was the only one I was able to get, and even that's rare. So you need to learn that first level, you really do. And then posting the score alone, look, rare achievement. So I'm guessing you have to get over a certain point to be able to get your high score registered as well. But caravan mode, I was lucky that middle bracket was 500,000. Obviously, that's the timed one, so it can't be as high as the high score mode, because that's just cruel. Wow, if you can get to the gold bracket on that, seriously well played, whoever that is, because that's mega rare. But yeah, and again, look, that first level trick I taught you about will get you to the 500,000 point marker. And even the original mode top one is rare. And I must admit, I got lucky. I just nicked it. I beat the final boss, and I was 100,000 short, and I thought, crap, I'm going to miss out here. And the bonus pushed me over. I got a bonus at the end of the level, and it pushed me over just by like 20,000 points. I was like, wow, thank you very much. But again, learning that first level, I made sure when I did my run towards this 2 million points that I basically maxed out the first level by learning it, not dying, finishing with 12 hostages, finishing in a vehicle. I also finished in a vehicle in a couple of other levels as well, which really, really helped there. So you need to learn that first level in order to get a lot of the achievements out of this game. I think to be honest with you, the rest are beyond me. So, but obviously with the original mode, just crank it down to level 1. Make sure you knock the lives up to 99 as well, because otherwise you'll struggle to get to even the middle bracket, I would say. So ladies and gentlemen, yep, 720. I'm pleased with that out of this for what is part of my Game Pass subscription. So what do we have up next? Ignore these 3. I did a VR response to 5 gaming franchises or genres that you love amongst the little community we have going on, and one of them was the side-scrolling 4-player beat-em-ups, and it just encouraged me to give all of these a try again. Some of these aren't available now due to licensing issues. The Simpsons definitely is. I can't remember if the other 2 are. It's a real shame that they are not, or if they are not, because they are 3 cracking games. It just encouraged me to have a little go with them again while I boot up the Xbox to sort of do a little voiceover talking while looking at these thumbnails. But anyway, that's enough waffleage on that. Next up is going back to the guys at Achievement Squad again. They had a guide for Old Man's Journey. Now this is part of Game Pass as well. The achievements, a lot of them are miscellaneous, most of them are progressional. There is one which is tricky, which will add time onto the runtime of the video, which is 1 hour and 3 minutes. And that's where you have to do this train section and sort of get through it without having the brakes slammed on, which is tricky. It took me multiple runs and probably added about 20 minutes to the runtime, or my personal completion time. But following that video along, having the problem with the train, it's a bang-on guide. You can find it in the so I do a playlist of guides I've used with 100% success. This is in there, as well as their previous one for Pipe Push Paradise. Find it in there. So yeah, put about 2 hours on this if you're having to pause like I always do and always talk about. So Old Man's Journey though, so part of Game Pass, a nice little story, very unique little game as well. Yeah, has to be categorised as easy 1000G with a guide, perhaps one a little bit tricky achievement. With the train, you'll know all about that one when you get there. Okay, next up, Siberian, the time travelling warrior. Rattle like a special, well and truly here. This one I unlocked 720, I think it was, within 15 minutes without really trying. I then added the final gamer score towards 1000G within another 15 minutes. The only tricky-ish achievement was getting to the third boss on the hardest mode. Even that's not too bad, because you can obviously try sections again after you die. Just means you've got less lives to do it, and it's a little bit more difficult. But I would advise doing the sort of a normal or easy playthrough, because then when you do the hard playthrough, you've got all the power-ups with you as well. But you don't need to beat the third boss on hard, you just need to get to him. So a really easy completion in around about half an hour mark. So yeah, about like a special one there. Above it was my first little stream on Mixer. When I got to 1 leaves, I had to grind out the last achievement, which was escape winning 20 times, which took up a bit of time. Anyway, this isn't available in the it is free, but it's just not available in the UK. I had to change my console location to American, and then I could download it, because you don't need to put in an address for any game that is free. I'd love to be able to use an address and buy stuff off the American marketplace, but I really am dubious about putting in a random restaurant in America or just any address for the hell of it. So I don't really want to do that, but if it's free, I'll change my console location, download it, like I did once upon a time with another game that escapes my mind was what it's called. Crap movie tie-in it was. But anyway, 1 leaves. Great premise, not a great game. Use guides to help you with the puzzle solutions, but even those change occasionally with regards to which chutes go down. But if you watch Macca's guide, he does tell you which one to look for. But as I say, I can't really credit any guide because of the way things change within a level, which is really annoying. A couple of puzzles always have the same solution, like this one with levers and switches. There's an achievement for completing the game but not leaving first, basically. And then there's an achievement, say, for doing it 20 times. So once you've got the hang of getting through it, it almost becomes like a routine. So when I had 4 more runs left, I streamed it, and I was literally just whizzing through them. But each run was taking around about the 10-minute mark. I think the best sort of time I could get was around 7 to 8 minutes. So 1 leaves is free, it's easy, and use a guide to assist you more than help you or guarantee you the completion. But with a bit of practice and learning the level and the routes, and unfortunately they do change from time to time. There are some miscellaneous ones in, which is another reason why you should watch Macca's guide on this, because he'll tell you what to look out for as well. So it's a unique game, but that grindy achievement makes this one lengthy, and probably then makes it without that one achievement, sort of like you get most of them within an hour, but that one achievement does add let's say 10 minutes a run. So 10 minutes times what, 19? There you go, do the maths there. So yeah, that one's going to take a little bit longer because of that. So a bit of 360 love here. Played Dead or Alive 4. I picked it up in a bundled deal, which I got at a game. You can see the videos on that. I bought 44, and each game was less than £1. It was mental. One of them was Dead or Alive 4, and I just couldn't resist playing it. I played through the arcade mode with every single character and completed it. That was an achievement. A few miscellaneous ones unlocked along the way when it comes to unlocking secret characters. And then there are other modes where you can get bronze, silver or gold, and I got gold in one of the modes by time attacking it and putting the rounds down to 1 and easy and all that sort of stuff, and I got the gold bracket, and the achievements didn't stack. So yes, it's nowhere near an easy completion. So I have 160 out of it, just playing this one mainly for fun, but also targeting achievements at the same time a little bit. So yep, Dead or Alive 4 was a lot of fun for me. That 160, I actually put about at least 5 hours into it, because there's an achievement for playing for 5 hours. There is also an achievement for playing for 10 hours, but I will get there once upon a time, maybe. But yeah, Dead or Alive 4, put about 5 hours into that and got 160 out of it, so a lot of time spent for not a lot. Dodge if you're a completionist or you want quick gamer score. Samsara, very unique puzzle game. Now I used a guide for this, but it wasn't a completion guide because he had nothing to do with the inverse levels on there. You can get all the achievements in one playthrough. I think guides, solution-wise, 4 puzzles run about 1.5 hours to 1 hour and 45 minutes. As I say, there's a completion for basically playing through the entire game. There's a couple of miscellaneous random ones. A lot of people have done guides for those, for basically getting shut in and go through a portal 5 times or something. People have done guides for those single achievements. So look those up. You'll find those up well easy. As I say, you'll find a solution for all the levels in normal mode. There's an achievement for finishing the game in under 3 hours, so I thought I'd play safe, not inverse it, and then use the guide and complete the game in under 3 hours, which I was able to do, which then left about 2 or 3 achievements which were tied to inverse mode. You have to press start during the first level, select inverse mode, then it will stay in inverse mode. And then I thought, well, this is going to take time. I'm going to have to work all the levels out now. But then I thought, inverse mode, so it's just the levels upside down. So what I did, I used a guide on my phone. I locked the screen so it didn't do any of that flippy stuff when you turn your phone around and it tries to help you out. And I just turned my phone upside down and then watched the guide. And I thought, wow, why didn't I just do that first time round? And I could have got all the achievements in one run through. But I played it safe. So yeah, it took me about 3 to 4 hours. If you can do it in one run and flip your phone upside down and use the trick that I could have used to start with, you can do it in a lot less. Okay, bought Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled on launch day. I was well excited about it, and I played it for about 2.5 hours one night. I streamed it. I had people write questions and join in, sort of stuff like that. Really enjoyed my time with it. As I say, I just played adventure mode, and I refused to move on from a race until I'd won it. So that's why I put a lot of time in without actually getting a lot of gamer score. But I was playing for fun that night. I say I put about 2.5 hours into it. I got some miscellaneous achievements for doing things with weapons. I might have got something to do with adventure mode as well. I can't remember, but I will have to play some more of this as well very soon. It's a lot of fun. Who doesn't love Crash Team Racing? It's great. Picked this up because it was cheap in the store. It's a very strange game. It's sort of like you're a medieval and you're behind the character, sort of like Super Punch Out sort of perspective of a guy with a sword, sort of third person, perhaps sort of not quite over the shoulder, sort of behind the character. I hope you'll get that from what I mean. It was in the sale, it popped up. It wasn't a personally great game. I had to put a lot of practice into getting out of it what I got. It was about 2 or 3 hours. The game's not that much fun, to be honest with you. I can't really say a lot about it. I can't really help too well because I struggle with it so much. But I got 560 out of it in about 2 to 3 hours. Another one I thought I'd try that I bought, Neo Geo Thrash Rally. Times on this are really hard, and some of the modes in that are, although it's the same mode in a lot of the in all modes, sorry, but the time brackets are just cruel, to be honest with you, in respect to getting points. If you're not in first at the end of the first lap, you can't make the time up and be first. So if you want to put a lot of time into this, like I did, just to get 480, then that's not too difficult with a lot of practice and a lot of muscle memory. I'd say it was what was it, probably about 3 to 4 hours actually. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy my time with it too much. It's like top-down rally, but yeah, muscle memory and that will help you get some gamer score out of this. But easy completion, definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, Infinity Runner, that's been sitting in the backlog for a while. This game I can describe as basically being Temple Runner in first person. If you play Temple Run on your phone, you know you swipe left and swipe right to sort of dodge as you're running, and then you do the same to turn a corner and things like that, and you jump and you slide under. It's literally that, but in first person. Use the left thumbstick to sort of move from side to side whilst running. You hold the right thumbstick right or left as a corner is approaching to turn it, and the bumpers will make you jump and slide. There's a lot of the gamer score, or 200 to 300 out of this, shall I say, you'll get real quickly, real basic stuff real quickly to get. There's a couple of things for 2 or 3 achievements there were for doing random stuff within menus, and then achievements for completing the game. The collectibles, just keep your eyes peeled for these white orbs in the sky. That's a 90G achievement for finding all of those. There are also achievements for finding 3 and 6. And then the achievements that I'm missing on this is cumulative 500,000 points. Did grind out the 250,000. I don't know if I'm going to return to this one enough to get the 500,000. The other achievements I'm missing are all of the stages except for the first one on hard. Believe me, it is hard. So yeah, play it through on easy. There's a achievement for watching all the cutscenes, so make sure you don't skip those. That's 760, to be honest with you, with a bit of practice. Once you've got the once you've got the hang, not hand, and once you've got the hang of the controls, isn't too bad. So I probably put, because of grinding out that 2.25 one at the end, actually I probably put about 4 or 5 hours into this, but I literally had 300 within half an hour. So it's fun for what it is, but my time with Infinity Runner is now done. This one's sitting in the backlog for quite a while again as well. State of Anarchy, Master of Mayhem, kind of this twin stick shooter. And this one is not too bad because if you fail a level, you're always gaining towards powering up and stuff like that. You'll need to get to level 90, which is rare because it is a bit of a grind. You'll need to unlock a certain amount of skills and stuff like that, which is basically getting to level 80 for the top one of that as well, so that's a bit of a grind. A lot of the achievements are cumulative, sadly they don't track, but if you're going for all of the achievements to get to level 90, all of the rest really should come along the way. There's nothing miscellaneous which you have to do silly things for. It is all progressional to a degree. Just don't put it on hard, just play on normal. You'll get an achievement for completing the game as well. As I say, with all the completion stuff along the way, that level 90 achievement really does make this lengthy and probably make it 8 to 10 hours. However, you'll probably have half of the achievements in a fraction of the time. So yeah, it's a lot of fun actually. I like the art style of this one, to be honest with you. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with this one. So yeah, but it is lengthy, but only because of the grind, and the grind makes those top achievements rare. When it comes to grinding out, just play, I think there's 48 levels. If you play, I started by playing for 46 and then I cut it down to 47, level 47 and 48. So I would say play levels 47 and 48 over and over again, and that is how you can grind up your leveling a bit quicker once you've completed the game. Another route, like a special toy tanks. I actually streamed this. I streamed my entire 1000G. I found it a little bit frustrating as the enemy is super precise at times. So just my advice here is keep moving. The controls on this are real awkward to sort of master. But I streamed this and my stream time was 53 minutes for the 1000G. Another route like a special, as I say, not too difficult. Supermart Scream. This was part of, or is part of Game Pass, and I thought I'd give it a go. It seemed unique. It's you sort of move your trolley by using the triggers, and obviously if you want to go straight you have to hold both together, left to go left and obviously right to go right on their own, but you kind of have to have momentum as well, so you need to sort of put both triggers forward, take your finger off one in which way you want to turn. But anyway, a few of these achievements come quickly. There are a couple of random in-game menu ones. If you customise your character and put on the branded cap, which is just an Xbox cap, that's a 50G and a 25G achievement for just doing that alone. This game is difficult in getting stars, certainly as the levels progress onwards. I only just scraped the third area, and then I probably haven't got the skill or the time, to be honest with you, to go beyond that. So that 480G was probably about somewhere between, I was going to say 2 to 3, it's probably near 3, so it's around about 3.5 hours worth of play. A couple of miscellaneous achievements I did look up for, like knocking over a mannequin. I looked up where the best place was to do that and things like that. They were 15G achievements. Knocking over some wine and stuff like that. A few random miscellaneous achievements along the way, but that 480 came in about 3.5 hours. Okay, Ascendant's First Horizon. This is another one that I used the achievement squad for literally just recently. I absolutely made a proper schoolboy error on this. I got halfway through the second level, I paused the game, I accidentally reset it and had to start all over again. So there are achievements for completing the game and picking up all these collectibles. The guys at Achievement Squad have done a really good guide on it. They do mention the tricky sections, so be prepared for a little bit of self-frustration as well. Their guide, well, as I say, was bang on. I'm trying to remember the runtime of it. I think it was about an hour and a half. But obviously you can double that, obviously, if you're pausing like I was, so that you don't lose track of where you're going and you don't mess up too much. But it's a very unique puzzle game. It's decent. It's okay. As I say, I put more time into it than I should have done, but if I hadn't have messed up, I would have got it done in about 3 hours. But I just really annoyed me. I literally, one night I messed up and I was like, yeah, I'm not starting this again tonight. Put it down, return to it tomorrow. And I did it in one sitting then in about 3 hours from start to finish. So, and then above that is Mr. Pumpkin Adventure. This was a game that was only available in America for ages, and the only way you can buy this now is spending £8.99 on a dual pack with something else, an alien side-scrolling shooting game, which I've already got, which is really fun. That game isn't an easy completion, but it's a lot of fun. I think I have about 400 out of that other game. But this game, I used Mecha91's channel, his guide. You can find the guide in the section where I talk about completions. I don't talk about completions. You can find my playlist on guys that I've used with 100% success, and you'll find this top of the list as of time of recording. The runtime of that video is about half an hour. It's a bang on guide. It's very easy to follow as well. I even done it within an hour and was able to follow a lot of it without pausing as well.
So, but unfortunately here in the UK, if you want to buy it without changing the console location and having an American address line that you can use, you can't at the moment. You can buy it in this dual pack for £8.99, and I basically did. I've been waiting for it to pop up in some way, shape or form over here, so I don't have to change, or I don't have to use an address in the console location. But anyway, I'm waffling on about not relevance to the game stuff here, and as I say, it's about half an hour. It's no time at all, and it's real quick. And the guide is absolutely bang on with the multiple endings and where all the torn bits of diary are and things like that. It's an absolutely bang on guide. As I say, it only took me about 45 minutes, I would say. As I say, the guide was super easy to follow along with, so I didn't need a lot of pausing. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the last game of June Part 2, Mr. Pumpkin Adventure. I was going to say, I will hit the 400k within July. My plans for July, right, I'm buying a lot of Xbox 360 games. I have a lot of them to get through. I have a wall of backlog. I literally do. It is huge. So next month, I'm going to show the Xbox 360 a lot of love. I'm going to be playing a lot of old games on there, so please join me for that. So I have a handful of sports titles that I can whiz a lot out of quickly. I have a completion lined up for the 360 straight away, which is a game I bought about 6 months ago for £1, so that one's not dear to do as well. I also done a poll on Twitter because I now own the complete Mass Effect trilogy, the complete Dead Space trilogy, and criminally have not played them. So my poll on Twitter, which ends very soon, is very much a landslide in the favour of the Mass Effect trilogy. So I will be starting those next month as well. Whether I finish them all during the month, I don't know, because I might get sidetracked with my Gamerscore hunting, but I will be playing some one stuff as well still, so please stay tuned for all of that. I have a lot to do next month. So ladies and gentlemen, please, if you have any questions, comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I will love you for it. And that just leaves me to say, finally, as always, take care.